everyone, if you're new here, hi, I'm Marley. I'm a second year med student in that horrible place where like step 1 is hanging over your head. And for those who are unfamiliar with USMLE Step 1, it's the first big standardized exam that all med students in the US take, usually in your second year. And USMLE stands for United States Medical Licensing Examination. And my year, this year, 2022, is the very first year that step 1 is going to be pass-fail rather than numerically scored. Students in my year are guinea pigs, like pandemic learning, and then this, step 1 going pass-fail. What's next? I mean, give us a break, man, please. So while some pressure to get an insanely good score on step 1 in order to get into the residency that you want, especially if you're going into something competitive, that pressure has been kind of offloaded a bit, it's still not something that you can just blow off, right? From what I've heard from older students and doctors and program directors and things, if you study well for step 1, then you're going to have a good foundation going into rotations, and then you'll also be better off going into step 2 and are more likely to do well on step 2, which is still numerically scored and will most likely replace step 1 as the main standardized numerical residency program screening metric. So I've recently figured out, finally, how I'm gonna go about studying for step 1, pass-fail mode. So watch to the end for all the details. I like to keep things as simple as humanly possible with my studying. I like checking things off as I go, and if you've seen any of my videos on reviewing outside med school resources, you know that I like Boards and Beyond, Pathoma, and Sketchy. Those are my main big 3 outside resources, and then sprinkling in a little bit of Pixarize as needed. The med school Reddit gods preach First Aid and UWorld, and so I knew I also needed to incorporate those for studying for step 1. But the main problem I encountered when trying to synthesize and organize all of these resources into a cohesive plan, particularly my wanting to organize it by topic, was finding out how to do that in a way so that the time I spent each day studying specifically for step was pretty consistent. I wanted to be able to plan on spending about the same amount of time studying for step every day. I didn't want to have 2 hours one day and 12 hours the next day, because I also have to do all this studying on top of regular classes, because my school doesn't start dedicated step studying time until April 15th. So as I'm scouring the internet to find a way to organize all of this and make it work, I come across CRAM Fighter, which has a step 1 program where you can choose the resources that you want to use, what your time frame is, when you want to start studying and when you take your test, and how fast you read or how fast you do questions or how fast you watch your videos, which is awesome because I definitely, at this point, med school has ruined me. I am broken. I don't watch anything slower than 1.5 times speed, Netflix included. Anyway, plug all that in and it'll spit out a day-by-day plan built to your specifications. You can skip individual items that you feel like you have a really good handle on. You can program in random or recurring days off. I take every Monday off. Trying to make Mondays more tolerable. Then I also I'm going to a wedding next week, and so I'm just going to take the day of the wedding off. Then all you have to do if you ever get behind or if you decide to take a day off, all you hit is the rebalance button and it'll move automatically all of those items, all those things to do that you either are behind on or that you're going to, take the day off for, and it'll just redistribute all of those things into the rest of your plan going forward. There's also a calendar mode that you can supposedly sync with your Google Calendar or other calendar apps. I tried that and I found it to be really buggy, so I don't use it. I mostly just stick with the task view, the checklist view, where you literally just go, you complete something, you check it off. Because y'all know, I already said that I am a sucker for those little serotonin boosts when I check things off of a list. So yeah, they have a 7-day free trial, which I did before going with the 6-month option. I think that 6-month option was I think I got it for $100. As much as I hate paying for anything extra outside of absolute necessities when it comes to school, this has been well worth it for me because it has minimized the amount of mental energy needed to organize and update a multifaceted study schedule like this, which frees me up for doing what I gotta do and not just thinking about what I gotta do, There's no app for this. There's no CRAM Fighter app, which is kind of unfortunate. I'm sure they're working on it, but it's not a big deal, really. I just keep the tab up on my laptop. I forgot to mention, this video is not sponsored at all, by the way. I will only ever recommend things that I either really like or use. One of those being this program, which is essentially my all-in-one step 1 studying magic strategy thing. And the way I have it set up right now gives me about 6 to 7 hours of material to review and study every day. Hard, definitely, but manageable. All the resources I mentioned at the beginning of the video are fully incorporated or taken out. I used to have like Anki, 45 minutes of Anki in there, but it was just so variable, like the amount I could get through in that time, depending on like the material I was reviewing or whatever. So I ended up taking that out. Oh my gosh, that reminds me. So as I go through a UWorld block, which I go through one every day except for Monday at this point. And for those who are unfamiliar with UWorld, one UWorld block is 40 questions. So as I'm going through a block, I make flashcards, like my own Anki cards, out of the stuff in UWorld questions that either I didn't understand or that I was fuzzy on or I got confused on or whatever. Someday your girl's making hella cards, but like, it's actually been awesome in helping me identify and strengthen my weak spots, because it's easy to watch Boards and Beyond videos and like read first aid and be like, oh yeah, I know that makes sense. Yeah, I got that. And then you get a couple of UWorld questions on it and you're like, JK, I don't know anything. Like I know zero things. So then going through the process of making those flashcards and making the connections in your own words, that process has really helped me solidify the fuzzy stuff. 10 out of 10 recommend doing this. So to recap, CRAM Fighter is what I used for time management, organization of resources. Tells me what to do every day so I don't have to think about that. That's the main thing I use. And then honorable mention, making Anki cards out of the UWorld stuff that I have trouble with. That's the plan. I've been sticking with it for a few weeks and it has worked really well, actually. I feel on track for taking Step when I want to take it, which will be May 2nd. Oof. Wish me luck, please. If you have any questions about why I chose to do things this way, or you just want to say hi, go comment down below. And while you're down there, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. That helps me know that this content is helpful, and it also helps this information to get out to more med students who are struggling with how to approach Step 1, especially now that the paradigm has shifted and it's pass fail. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Love ya, and catch you next time.